What's going on is the federal government is not doing their job. Markie, you just said it's been days. In towns like Mendham Borough, it's been weeks. This has
Weeks.
been going on for a month now, and we have no answers. And these drones have not stopped. It is every night and sometimes very early in the morning. And we now in our town have created our own task force, Skywatch Task Force, and we're taking matters into our own hands. We're not going to take these drones down, but we're going to do a better job of really collecting our own data and making sure that we know where they are over town so that we can help the federal government because obviously they can't do their job.
The government, I find it interesting that the government mayor keeps saying, the drones pose no threat. They're not from our U.S. military. They're also not from a foreign adversary. How are they able to tell us what they aren't if they don't even know what they are?
Well, they're not able to do that. In fact, we were at a state briefing just this past week, and they said to us prior, they were saying that they pose no threat. Now they realize that they can't say that. They don't know if these things are carrying payload. This is what they told us in the briefing. And payload could mean explosive devices, it could mean chemical warfare, it could mean anything. I don't want to frighten people. That's not my goal. My goal is to make sure that at least in our town, we're doing what we can to try to manage the situation and see what's going on, and then take this information and pass it to the authorities. They should be here now. Marky, we have two federal government employees, two congressional members that are running for governor, I'm sorry, in New Jersey, and they have said nothing. They have done nothing. They've got the power to go down there and insist that something happen, and nothing is happening so far.
I know you said just off the top that locals aren't going to take matters into their own hands here, but could you kind of put us in the mindset of Mendham right now? I mean, what are people feeling and thinking? And I've asked this to other guests too. Has this become a thing where every night it's like, who's hosting the watch party in your front or backyard? Because
It
we know
is
they're
it
coming again.
Right. It is sort of like that. We had a town meeting just a few days ago, and it was a packed house.
Mhm.
People are worried, but they do want to take action. And so that's why we're coordinating and organizing our information, and we're hosting our own stakeouts, if you will. We've got an amazing team of people. One of the things that we're doing, we're trying to be really scientific about this, is we have educated our folks to download some kind of a plane finder app because I know that some people are seeing planes, but this will help better identify because when you're looking up into the dark sky, you don't really know what you're looking at. It's hard to tell, but with one of these apps, you can then at least identify and eliminate that it's not a plane. And then we've got special camera equipment. We're working with folks right here in town that are used to using technology, and we're going to map these things. So we're going to get better pictures of them and really understand what is it that's over our skies. I've seen them multiple times, and I'll tell you, you really know what it is when you see three large objects, maybe about 300 feet away, that are just hovering over the ground.
Mm.
And then after about, I don't know, a minute or so, then they decide to move. That is not a
It's
plane.
weird. Yeah. Yeah, there's something weird. There's something fishy that's not adding up here. Tom was pointing this out in his report earlier that Senator Chuck Schumer has called for radar-like tech such as the Robin to track the signal source behind the drones with 360-degree capabilities. Have you received any sort of technology like this or any sort of federal help here in the interim while we're waiting for answers?
Not to my knowledge, and that's exactly what our state officials told us was that they haven't gotten any help from the federal government, which is why I say we've got two congressional members that are running for governor here. Why aren't they doing more? They should be doing something. I mean, it's funny how we've been complaining here in Mendham for a month. I've been making calls every single day, and yet now that New York is finally getting these sightings, the federal government says, "Okay, well, we're going to do something." They need to do something sooner. They need to take action when people say, hey, there's something strange going on here. Please come and take a look instead of telling us that we don't know what we're looking at.
We also had sightings out of California last week. I mean, the area of drone sightings does appear to be expanding. To your point, reports coming out of New York, you got Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia. That New York airport, Stewart Airport, temporarily shut down on Friday night after a drone sighting there. You think this points to a bigger operation? Does it offer you any clues as to who could be behind this?
I know for a fact because they just arrested a couple of guys. Once this sort of thing starts, then the hobbyist drone owners come out. But these particular drones are very, very large. You can see them and you can tell they've got much more command of what they do.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.